It's the hop-on, hop-off bus in Cologne, Germany. It's part 3 of our tour through Cologne, Germany on the upper deck of the bus. This right here is the one little section of the Cologne Zoo. And I don't think you can see it very clearly in the video, but there's a cow over there playing with a soccer ball. Because I remember kind of seeing that in person, and I think I even took some pictures of it. So as I mentioned in part 2 of the series, Cologne is a pretty modern city. We're driving around on this bus. We're up on the upper deck, just kind of taking in the sights, not really knowing where we're going because we've never been to Cologne before. But the one thing that I definitely kind of remember, thinking as we were going through the city, and of course definitely now looking at the footage afterwards, you just don't see a lot of historical buildings, monuments, relics, or anything like that. It's a pretty new, pretty modern city. There are definitely some there, but they don't really jump out at you like in other cities in Europe. I didn't realize it at the time, but you see all these bicycles on the left side of the highway over here. There must have been some kind of huge event going on for cyclists because they were all taking over half of the roadway here, and they didn't tell us what it was, and we didn't see any signs or anything that kind of stood out that such and such event was going on, but it was pretty interesting to watch. This is the same road, and you see it's just for miles. The cyclists are using half of the road for some sort of event.
Anlass für den Dombau ab 1208.
So you notice the two big spires in the air back there, like straight down the road there. That's the Cologne Cathedral. And it's such a visible monument throughout the city. And if you go back and look at pictures of World War II, it's one of the only buildings that really was never destroyed during the war. This was pretty cool here. If you look on the left, you see a soccer game going on. This was a Sunday, and at this point it was probably around lunchtime, maybe early afternoon, so it was a beautiful day in Cologne. It was Sunday. People are just kind of chilling out. You see an awful lot of people in the video kind of riding bikes. You see dedicated bike lanes. This was early on in our 2-week tour of Germany, and we would discover as we went from city to city that bicycling in Germany is very big. It's a very popular form of exercise, I guess you could say.
Heute befindet sich darin das Ladengeschäft Saturn, das die größte Auswahl an Tonträgern in Europa anbietet.
So here's the famous T-Mobile broadcast tower. I don't know exactly what you call it, but apparently it's been there for a couple of decades, and it's quite well known.
Märtyrern hergerichtet wurde. Die Gebeine von 666 von ihnen befinden sich in der Kirche. Diese entfaltet ihre besondere Pracht im Dekavon einer Szene. Wegen der Kuppel wird St. Leon oft mit der Hagia Sophia in Istanbul verglichen.
I mentioned earlier that you don't see a lot of historical buildings when you're kind of touring around through Cologne, but this one coming up right here on the right is definitely one of them. And it just kind of sits there as a weird, out-of-place historical monument. You know, you look all around it and everything's new and modern, and this right here has been there for hundreds of years. So it's a very interesting dichotomy between old and new.
Der höchste Turm ist der Südturm mit 157 Metern. Nach 509 Stufen ist die Aussicht.
So you see the Cologne Cathedral there. They're bringing us right back to where they picked us up in terms of getting on and getting off the bus. So this is going to do it for the video series of touring around through Cologne. Coming up next is we stopped in Limburg on our way back to Frankfurt. So I'll have a few videos on that one. So check those out. Thank you very much for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I post a new video.